Unqualified Critics here with a review on Mayhem Brawler for the iiRcade. Full disclosure, this game was provided to me to review. Here's what I think of it. This is kind of the perfect game for iiRcade. It's a modern but arcade style game. It doesn't use too many buttons to where you get into weird button mappings. It works fine with the 6-button layout that come on the iiRcade. And most importantly, you can pick up and play it in really short increments. So it's not something where you're standing there playing it for 45 minutes at a time before you beat the next level so you can save. To me, that's important because when I'm standing at the iiRcade, that's a short increment thing for me. If I'm going to be playing for an hour, I'm probably sitting on my couch playing on Nintendo Switch. For those reasons, this game is a great fit for the cabinet. The game itself I find pretty interesting. It is, of course, that Streets of Rage clone, but it does some things differently, namely branching storylines, alternative endings, a really interesting variety of enemies. They play around with some fantasy type settings, which is pretty cool, even though it's set in a contemporary urban environment. You've got spellcasters and werewolves and vampires and stuff like that. The writing and dialogue for the game is spotty. Some of it is pretty cringe.
I have an absurd memory. I can clearly remember what my mother said when I soiled myself at the age of 3.
However, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek too, so I think it's kind of on the nose, maybe meant to be a little cringe. The game itself is presented in widescreen, and the iiRcade is a 4:3 view. So that's one element where this isn't quite the perfect fit. I would have liked to have seen the game refactored for 4:3, so you get that full frame view. Some people, though, just prefer widescreen in general, so that's subjective. Take that as what you will. Overall, this game feels like it was meant for iiRcade. It'd actually be nice if they did a special edition of the cabinet. I think that would probably sell pretty well. And I definitely can recommend the game for this cabinet. Let me know what you guys think. If you have an iiRcade, are you enjoying playing more modern games, or do you prefer the retro vintage titles? And if you do like playing modern games, which ones are your favorite? Because so far, Mayhem Brawler has been my favorite. But I know a lot of you guys like Retromania and some of these other titles too, so let me know in the comments. If you want more news and reviews on Home Arcade, make sure you're subscribed to Unqualified Critics, and I'll talk to you soon.